Cuckoo is brought to us from Neon, and oh boy, it lives up to the title. Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome to the channel and thank you so much for taking your own time out to check out this video. My name is Mike and normally I don't wear like funky shirts like this. I'm in like a Geek t-shirt, but I'm actually going out for a meal at the time of this recording, so that's why I'm a little bit more dressed up. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. Let me know how you are doing down below in the comment section, as today we're going to discuss Cuckoo, which is brought to us by Neon. Recently on the channel I covered their movie Long Legs, which I was definitely in the minority. I was not a fan of this movie, so by all means I was a little bit skeptical going into this one, but I do know that it starred Hunter Schafer, and Hunter Schafer has definitely been proven in her filmography that she is a very talented actress, so I was very intrigued to see how she would play here. Now, Cuckoo, I didn't see a trailer before going into this one. It's directed by Tilman Singer, which I've never seen any of their filmography. And we've got supporting roles of Dan Stevens and Jessica Henwick. Now, if you're wondering, well, Mike, what is Cuckoo all around? I mean, I'll try to describe this the best I can. It focuses on a character called Gretchen, played by Hunter Schafer, and she moves with her dad to the German Alps. However, once they get to the Alps, strange occurrences start to happen, and I'm gonna leave it vague. I'm gonna leave it there for any spoilers, but also not to give you guys any context or give you what actually happens in this movie, especially in the synopsis, because I went into this blind, and ideally if you're able to, I would like you guys to experience that same effect, because I think if you watched a trailer for this, it would show you pretty much a lot of what happens. It would also give away a lot of details as to how the events unfold, and I'd rather you guys kind of didn't do that if you're able to. So what's my thoughts overall? Well, this is absolutely in my top 10 of 2024. I really loved this movie, and I didn't think I was going to end up walking out of the cinema and saying that, but I was honestly captivated for the entire runtime. No part in the 3-act structure felt long, stretched out, bad pacing, nothing of the sorts. This was thoroughly entertaining. It kept my attention the whole time, and I was wondering, wow, like, this is bonkers. Like, is it going to get even more bonkers than this? And the answer is yes. It starts out that way, definitely ends that way also. This is just a movie that is different, it's wacky, it's weird, it's a very limited release, especially here in the UK. I managed to see this at my cinema world that's a little bit further away, in only 2 showings per day, but I know Odeon Cinemas is only showing this once per day, really late at night. And it's such a shame, because a movie like this, especially with the release of Long Legs and the audience and marketing that movie got, was really a big blockbuster for Neon, and it's a shame that this one may go a little bit under the radar. Hunter Schafer is absolutely magnetic in Cuckoo. Definitely kept me gripped. The performance was very realistic. I mean, every time that she was in peril or in a predicament or injuries, it just got worse and worse for the character of Gretchen, but I, as the audience, was strapped in my seat with the seatbelt on and in for the ride. I thought the performance was fantastic. They knew what character they were playing, and they delivered it in buckets and spades full. But not just Hunter Schafer here, but the supporting cast is also really good, accompanying to that solid main lead performance. Dan Stevens plays a sort of villainous role, and again, being quite vague, but again, he has a chance to showcase his acting range, because we've seen him in kind of more comedy horror style in Abigail, we've seen him in Godzilla and Kong, and this guy just continues to do different roles, different projects, and it's great that he gets this chance here. He does speak German throughout the movie along with English, but he has a great German accent. I don't know if he's actually German, I didn't research that or not, but he definitely pulls it off very persuasively, and I was gripped also what he was going to do next. There was times I wanted to root for him, there's times that I hated him, and if a movie can make me feel like that emotionally, it's definitely got my attention, and it's the one that is going to keep my attention. the cinematography in terms of being shot on like real locations and how this was filmed. I believe from my friend Ryan, Ravenose Fan 89, he mentioned in his review like 35mm, and you can tell this is absolutely stunning in the German Alps, and I'm really glad that they filmed on location. It paid off. It was beautiful. It was spectacular, and I'm even going to go as far to say that this is possibly one of the best cinematography shot movies of 2024. I loved it. The natural landscapes also kind of remind me a little bit of 2023's The Zone of Interest in terms of how it was shot, like these landscapes, the Alps, and then like the house with the garden views. It was almost like that, and that is an absolute huge compliment I can give to Cuckoo. Now, this is not going to be a movie for everyone. Again, it's weird, it's wacky, it's got a really complex plot at the helm of it when you really think about it. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I did watch an explain video at the end of this, not because I didn't catch everything or not because I didn't think like, right, what just happened, I need this all explained to me, but it was more so that I had questions about certain things that happen throughout the runtime and how this movie concludes, that I was like, right, I think I've got this, I just want to be absolutely sure, and it turned out I pretty much had it about 95%. It was one or two things I was like, oh, okay, right, that makes sense for this part in the movie, and this makes sense for that part, and that, it just goes to show that that is great, because this is a movie that left me questions, but the questions I actually want to find out, not a movie that leaves me with questions, and I'm like, right, I don't care to research that, I don't even want to know, I don't even care, you know, skip it, let's get to the next movie. No, I was engrossed, and this is a one that I would definitely love to own on physical media if it ever gets released. Now, with all the praise that I've given Cuckoo, and you might be wondering, well, Mike, what's your negatives? Like, is there anything really bad about this movie that stops you from giving this a 5-star? And my answer is yes. The answer is, for me, as I mentioned with those questions that I have, I watched the explain video, so I was fine, but I still feel like there's one or two plot threads that is so well done, but also leaves you on a cliffhanger, but also with maybe one or two questions, as there's no real final resolution, and that's not a bad thing. I guess they could maybe explore that in a sequel movie if they ever decide to make a sequel to this, or they may just leave it to an audience interpretation as to how the events unfold next. That's absolutely fine, but there is one or two things I would have liked to have known, even if it just showed it in a slight post-credit scene, but it doesn't. So I was like, man, I really wanted this to be wrapped up, even a quick 30-second scene, just to showcase how that was. But besides that, I don't really have any negatives. This movie was fantastic, absolutely loved it, and you may be shocked to hear me even say that, but I really did. So for a final score for Cuckoo, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 stars. Have you seen this one? Are you going to check it out? Does this even appeal to you? Well, let me know down below in the comment section so we can continue the discussion down there. If you haven't checked out my Patreon, if you're not a member of Patreon, well, hey, what the heck are you doing? Go sign up today. Links down below in the description box. Starts from only £2 per month, and a big thanks to all the legends who are subscribed to Patreon. In the meantime, if you haven't seen these videos of mine, check those out and continue a little bit of a deep dive into the channel. But until next time, I'll see you guys. I'll be seeing you later.